Hey everybody, we're back at Strong Tower for our top Neuro stacks. I'm Brian, Functional Aging Specialist and Z Health Movement Specialist. Today we're combining Isometrics, which is a nice hard contraction in a muscle group without actual dynamic movement, with dynamic movement in the opposing joint. So what are opposing joints? Opposing joints are joints that work together as we walk, as we run, as we skip, as we crawl. So the opposite knee to elbow, hip to shoulder, ankle to wrist, etc. would be opposing joints. Why are they connected? Well, because we use them together to stabilize when we walk or to drive movement forward, backward, wherever, whichever direction we're moving. Those joints work together, and they're connected through some things called interlimb neural coupling. They're also connected through cross-cord reflexes in the spinal cord. So because walking is sort of reflexive in nature, those cross-cord reflexes help connect those joints. So oftentimes we'll get a better result through doing a joint movement, especially if it's potentially a painful joint, if we maybe go to an isometric hold for that joint and then move the opposing joint. So instead of moving a painful knee, we could go ahead and hold, lock in a nice strong isometric contraction around that knee. Maybe it's the quad or the hamstring that we're focused on. And then we go to the opposite elbow. So I'm right knee isometric while I'm doing a left elbow circle. So fantastic for just improving your strength, your movement, and also doing it in a pain-free manner. So today, let's go knee and elbow. We'll just stick with that example. And I just kind of showed you the isometric, focusing on maybe some skin stimulation in the quad. So I'm focusing on nice hard contraction in that quad muscle, and that quad, those tendons and the muscles connect in at the knee joint. So I'm impacting the knee, but I'm not including movement in this example. And then on the opposite joint, which would be cross body to the other elbow, we can go through multi-speed elbow circles. So I'm keeping my elbow in the same place in space, and I'm cycling my hand around, supinating and then pronating in the forearm while I cycle that hand into flexion and extension, creating this circular movement. You could do this with different speeds at the elbow, and then we could switch it. So let's say it's a tennis elbow, or somebody's got an uncomfortable elbow. Instead of moving the elbow, we can now move the knee. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my forward lunge position again, just nice and comfortable. You should feel unbalanced and pretty comfortable in this stance here. If not, we could ease out of the lunge and work on a knee circle here. You could go to more of a side lunge, work on a knee circle here. So for now, I'm just going to go forward lunge. I'm going to work on contracting the bicep. So the bicep, I'm just pulling that into mid-range and then really squeezing, again, some skin stimulation on the skin and fascia over top of that muscle can really help your brain figure out, okay, we're creating a nice hard contraction here, and we're trying to feel for any loose spots where there might be maybe lacking some tension in that bicep, trying to get the brain-body connection to improve, especially in those areas. So improving that contractile mapping in the brain can oftentimes help increase strength immediately. It can help reduce threat. And so I'm holding that. We got that piece. So that's the bicep. It's impacting the elbow because, again, attachment's into the elbow there. Then I'm going to go ahead and knee circle that opposite knee. So it's left bicep, attachment's into the left elbow, and then I'm going into right knee circle. So I'm bringing that knee around, cycling through, keeping my foot planted, so my foot is staying down, and then I'm going through that knee circle. So we'd go about 20-second isometric holds, so about 20 seconds of work, whichever joint you were working on. We could apply that concept to the hip and the shoulder. We could apply it to the ankle and the wrist. I think you're going to see some amazing results with it, so try it out and let us know what you find out. And again, remember to subscribe, share this if this was helpful to you, and comment with questions. We'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thanks.